Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. Many thanks for joining us again. I am Tayo Salam.
Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us today as we take you on the trip across morning spinning.
Absolutely.
Sports, I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's start here off with the news making the rounds, and we start from home today. Let's talk about Rivers United. They're back on top of the Nigeria Professional Football League, courtesy of a win. And after match day 7, they regained the top spot, relinquished to Nasarawa United for a brief moment.
Fantastic win indeed for Rivers United. Fortune Amonowari on the score sheets. Also on the show, still talking football, but in England, where it's back-to-back wins for Liverpool after starting the year winless. They've now won 2 games in a row after yesterday's 3-1 win over West Ham.
All right, so we'll see if Liverpool have turned the corner or is this a flash. So we'll see. Back-to-back wins for the Reds. Let's move to the United States of America and talk about basketball. And a stunner it was. Washington Wizards, a few seconds to losing the game, produced a dramatic comeback to stun the star-studded Brooklyn Nets to win the game, 149 points to 146. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook doing amazing things and ensuring that Washington Wizards snatched a dramatic comeback in that game.
You can say that again. Those 2 players you mentioned did the damage to the Brooklyn Nets of KD and Kyrie Irving. It was a wild game of basketball involving the Wizards and the Nets. At the end of it all, it was the Wizards winning. One of the worst team in the NBA this season, based on their record. Perhaps this victory now could just be the turning point for their season. When they traded for Russell Westbrook, they didn't think they'll be in this situation, but that's how it's been for them, and we'll see if this result will actually kick on their season. Let's go through the results first of all before we come back to that matchup between the Wizards and the Nets. Let's start off with the Clippers, 129 to 115 over the New York Knicks. It was Kawhi Leonard, 28 points on the night, and they've now won 10 games in 11. The Utah Jazz, the winning streak is over at 11. That was after Nikola Jokic scored 47 points for the Denver Nuggets and a 128-117 victory for Denver. Elsewhere was the Philadelphia 76ers, 119-110 over the Pacers. 76ers outscoring the Pacers 31-6 over the final 8 minutes of the game to earn their 6th win in 7 games. The Magic and the Raptors ended 115-102 in favor of Toronto. Pascal Siakam scoring a second straight 30-point game in that victory. And in the process, they were able to snap a 3-game losing streak. The star match of the night lived up to the billings. 146-149 in favor of the Washington Wizards. We'll come back to that game shortly. The Cavs lost against the Timberwolves 104-109. Malik Beasley scoring 23 points, while the rookie Anthony Edwards finished with 23 points and a second start for the Timberwolves. All right, let's talk about the game. The game that no one played defense. No one played defense. That's why the score is like that.
Everybody's
no overtime, and you're having 140s.
Everybody's going toe to toe. That's what. And for the Brooklyn Nets, I don't know. Anytime they lose, everybody starts saying stuff because they feel they start on that side, and they should be putting games like this away easily. And one of the comments that struck me was Kyrie Irving said he just didn't know what happened. He didn't guard properly, and some of the things he said. And I think there was even a time Russell Westbrook very energetic, very excited. I think there was even a time it was fouled. It was called out for some comments he made at the step of court. So for me, it's interesting to see that Washington Wizards can win this game. But I think, in my own view, I think it might just be a reality check for I don't think the situation is as bad as some people are trying to paint it, but I think it's a reality check for Brooklyn Nets to see if the big three can really mix it up and get them so far?
So far, but actually they've had a couple of reality checks already this season. They've lost twice to the Cavs. Granted, there was no James Harden yesterday because of injury, but in KD and Kyrie, they still had enough to have won that game. As a matter of fact,
at least it would never be bad for them not to make the playoff. And once you still have them, you know what I'm just trying to say when I mean reality checks is that they keep getting these knocks, but the potential is there.
Of course.
So if they can just make it stick, you know, they're a team to be feared.
We know in the NBA, you got to play defense from time to time if you want to win games, especially if you want to win championships.
You know, they reflected. I hope all the things that they said, you know, it shows us this game, it hit them probably in a place they didn't like.
Loss.
So if they listen to this, probably watch this tape over, I think they know the solution to the problem.
Of course, they know the solution. They got to play defense, and that's why they're bringing back Iman Shumpert to try and help them with their interior. With a bit of a perimeter defense, I should say. Let's go to our standout performers before we leave the NBA. A lot of monstrous performances on the night. Incredible numbers are put up by these guys. Starting with Nikola Jokic, 47 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Up next is Bradley Beal, the top scorer in the NBA, 37, 6, and 4. And it's good to see him on the winning side for just the 4th time this season. Next up is KD, 37, 7, and 6. That wasn't good enough for the Brooklyn Nets in their loss to the Wizards. Pascal Siakam, the Cameroonian, 30, 10, and 3 for the Toronto Raptors in their own victory over the Orlando Magic. Last but not the least is Russell Westbrook, 41, 10, and 8. Unarguably his best game for the Wizards.
And we're having two players from the same team.
Combining
Rarely do we have that. Just shows how good their performance were to have two of them on our top performance chart.
All right, so that's it for the NBA. Of course, I will come back tomorrow with more updates on the best basketball league in the world. Let's leave that now and let's come back home. And Yemi, let's talk about a very interesting sport.
You're smiling already.
Yeah, not the most popular in this world, but just December was towards the end of last year. The IOC confirmed breaking, popularly known as breakdancing, will
as
be
an Olympic
as an Olympic sport. And it was quite shocking. But they had been working on it. There was a campaign already in play and all of that. And anyways, we had to go look for the Nigerian breakers. Apparently, we have a Nigerian breaking community, and they're all looking forward to the Olympics as well, unsurprisingly.
All right, and that's why we're going to allow you see this report on that story, breakdancing, the inclusion for the Paris 2024 Olympics. We allow you enjoy it. For those who have asked us, is this really a sport? Here is your answer. Enjoy the report. We'll come back for more Sports This Morning.
The EB at the same time confirmed for new sports, there's skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, and breaking.
Considered one of the main 5 elements of hip-hop, breakdancing originated in the Bronx in the 1970s, but has spread globally beyond the shores of the USA. Its inclusion in the Paris Summer Games has indeed triggered great excitement among b-boys and girls around the world, including Nigerian breakers.
The day I first heard it, I was like, oh my, it was blew up, like, oh my God. This is actually happened for the first time. I've been breaking in Olympics 2024. I think it's just a great thing. I'm so excited right now, like seeing everything going on well, so I think I'm good.
We've been hoping for this to happen very, very long time, because I feel this is going to give us the publicity we want and to make government at least support us in our craft.
According to World Dance Sport Federation President Sean Tay, the best 32 in the world will be competing in Paris, but these Nigerian breakers are not deterred by a potentially daunting qualification process.
We have loads of good breakers down here in Nigeria, because I believe those outside there, they have more platforms, they have more grounds, things, and more jams for them to practice. Go, they battle, they lose, they come back, they practice harder and go. So we have lesser battles, lesser platforms in Nigeria. And I believe from now till 2024, where the Olympics is going to hold, if platforms are created, if grounds, avenues are created for b-boys to break, to practice, I believe we can stand the world.
Breakdancing promoters also see the huge potential in the country, and as with any sport, the scientific perspective cannot be ignored.
The talent has been growing and the excitement has been there, the motivation has been there. So I think we're doing good when it comes to the talent.
We don't have enough facilities. Generally, B-boys recognize National Stadium, Gate G. So we used to call it the B-boy sports. It's actually at a car park space and the floor is concrete. So it's a hard ground, and most of the b-boys are tired of it, and they actually need a good space to train.
Now it's now a sport, so it's to transition from, the culture b-boy into, the athlete b-boy. You look at things, look at how they move, how they train, so how can one improve that, How can one get stronger? How can get one more flexible? How can one get fitter?
Breaking's debut on sport's biggest stage may still be over 1,000 days away, but the time to start planning is now, so as to give Nigerian breakers a fair chance of realizing their Olympic dreams.
Incredible scenes, amazing breakdancers that we have in the country. You saw B-boy Mats, B-boy Invincible. You can go on and on and on. And these guys are all excited.
They were energized. They're energized. One of them talked about their craft, and that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Things they do for leisure. That you not give them an opportunity, a platform to make it something they can compete. It's global recognition. There's money to be made, and a lot of things. I'm very happy for them, and I think we do have a fair chance.
Yeah.
I think we do have a fair chance.
Well, we saw the moves. Pretty
Amazing
much,
ones.
all the top rocks and freezes and the flips and the power moves and all that. It's pretty much what the other guys do. And stuff. But then they have better support. They have the platform, which we don't really have here, and that's the essence of this kind of reports. And hopefully, the government now will show a bit of support for them now that they are an Olympic sports.
Especially
they're not just the hip hop
when you
culture.
always hear the minister talking about sports where we have comparative advantage. This is one of them. There's really nothing that separates these guys from the guys in the United States if you give them the structure.
They do the same moves. We're seeing it. It's not a big deal. Anyways, still 2024. It's just over 1,000 days away, Bob. You know how time flies these days. Time is now to start putting all the necessary things in place. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be doing a comprehensive review of the Nigerian Professional Football League as well as the English Premier League. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. You can be a part of the show by talking to us and sending your tweets to channels_sports. There's a lot to talk about. A lot went down over the weekend. Big games across the world. Of course, in England, it was Arsenal and Manchester United playing a goalless draw. Arsenal United fans, what do you make of that game? Also, right here in Nigeria, the NPFL match day 7 went down over the weekend as well, so starting from Friday through Sunday. And we saw Rivers United retain top spot after the 1-0 win. Of course, Abia Warriors still got their issues. A 3-match ultimatum is up now for Coach Imama. I wonder what's going to happen to him now. There's a lot to talk about on the show. You can talk to us on channels_sports, and we'll be taking your tweets before the show is over. All right, let's just dive straight into it now. Talk about the games that played in the NPFL yesterday. Some very interesting results for you. Some players on fire, some veterans still doing amazing things in football. I'm talking about Dele Ayenuba. Dele Ayenuba, four clean sheets. This is just remarkable. Didn't see this one coming at all. We just thought it was just coming back to retire and help.
Just bring publicity to the league.
Exactly. Not thinking he was actually going to be playing at this very, very high level. Think about wherever you are, Dele Ayenuba. Let's start off with the results first of all. Rivers United 1-0 over Adamawa United. It was Fortune Omonwari with the clincher. FC Fanyaba 1-0 over Wiki Tourist. Another 1-0 victory this time for Eimba over Katsina United. The Kada, we saw highlights of that game during the break. 2-0 over Warri Wolves. Elsewhere, Yemi?
All right, Jigawa Golden Stars, victory over Heartland 2-1 it was. Sunshine Stars, good one for Benga Ogunbote, got a victory over his former employers. Rangers, 3-1 victory for the boys from Akure. Lobby Stars played a goalless draw with Abia Warriors. MFM played a goalless draw as well against Kwara United. And the boys from Kwara United, some amazing dance moves in the dressing room after playing a goalless draw with MFM. It meant a lot to them. All right, so after seeing all this, let's see what the table looks like. We told you earlier that Rivers United, they're back on top of the table. They regained top spots, so to speak. So there you have it. Rivers United followed by Yimba, Nasarawa were on top for a while. Brief moment. Sunshine Stars followed by Lobby Stars. That's the top five. Rivers United with 15 points from 7 matches. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. And of course, you look at the teams in red and the teams are above. So let's just start from the 15th position. Casino United in 16. You have Warri Wolves following Atland, Abia Warriors, and Adamawa. 7 matches played, about 31 matches still left to play. But of course, you don't want your team to be in this kind of position. Yep. Hopefully, as the games go by, maybe some of those teams will be able to claw their way out of the relegation.
The good thing is still early doors. But you don't want to be in that position for too long.
Point.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on Abia Warriors. Like I said, the 3-match ultimatum is up now, and we're waiting for whatever decision they'll be making on Coach Imama. There's also Heartland as well, too, in there in the red zone. Another team with a young coach in Fidelis. They're not doing well at the moment as well. So we'll see how it goes. If there's any news, on perhaps any managerial changes,
we'll revert straight away.
Of course, but I don't know. After 7 games, should management?
That would be hasty.
Yeah, I think it would be too early. Yeah,
that would be hasty. Even the Abia Warriors case, a lot of it, but they will argue and say they recruited well. All right. Let's go to the foreign scene now and talk about football, especially in England. A lot of interesting things happening in England. So let's allow join us on the show. Our guest for today, Anita Abayami. She joins us. She's a football pundit. Joins us to talk about all the things happening in the English Premier League. Good morning to you, Anita. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be here today. Thank you.
All right, so let's just dive straight into it. And by the way, I'm with my colleague Tayo Salam, and both of us will be chatting with you on all the things happening in the amazing world of sports. But straight away, let's just talk about Liverpool.
Yeah.
Back-to-back wins. Have they turned the corner? In your mind, have they turned the corner? Or you think we should probably wait a little before we say the boys are back?
I think we should probably wait just a little bit longer. They're still lacking in their centre-back position at the moment. Of course, they've got Nathaniel Phillips, who's playing in centre-back, but they've also got Jordan Henderson playing in centre-back as well. And he's not naturally a centre-back. He's naturally a midfielder. So until they manage to fix the problem there, I don't think Van Dijk is going to be coming back anytime soon this season. Gomez as well, their natural centre-back pairing. Fabinho, he's very injury-prone. So it's just going to be a bit of a wait until we can say that Liverpool is fully back. But fortunately for them, Mo Salah seems to be carrying them on their back. So It seems like they could possibly make a comeback very soon, but let's hold tight until they fix that back line.
All right, then let's wait. Let's just relax a bit. Let's not get carried away. But for Liverpool fans, it's fantastic. Last couple of match days for them, 3-1 wins over Tottenham and West Ham. Of course, they'll be looking to build on that going forward and perhaps start to challenge for the title again. They're not too far off behind Manchester City and United. Anita, let's just go straight from Liverpool to another team who seems to be struggling and floundering at the moment. That's Tottenham, Jose Mourinho's side. They were in action against Brighton yesterday. It was a very disappointing performance that ended up in a disappointing result. And I just want to talk about Harry Kane. Of course, Harry Kane is a talisman of that side, and whenever he misses out, it's always a struggle. But I didn't think they were going to struggle that badly yesterday, especially when you have Gareth Bale stepping in, for example, but he didn't do much on the night.
But the thing about Tottenham is they rely so heavily on Harry Kane that when he goes missing, they don't know how to function properly without him. So we all know that Jose Mourinho, he's a very defensive manager. What Jose Mourinho has done with Harry Kane is that he's made Harry Kane the talisman of that group. So when they're defending, it's Harry Kane that will be the one to transition the ball going forward. When they're going forward, it's Harry Kane that will be passing to Son. It's Harry Kane that will be setting everyone up or even scoring the goals most of the times. So what Tottenham need to do now, they need to find somebody else that they can play through. So Harry Kane being that center of the pitch all the time, they need to find somebody else to do it. Unfortunately, being defensive in the Premier League all the time is not going to work. We saw it yesterday against Brighton. Brighton, they handled them very well. So Brighton, they didn't have as much possession. I think the possession was it 43? It was 43-57. So Spurs had most of the possession. Brighton, they lacked in possession. But what they did have was that they had all their shots on target and they buried their chances. And unfortunately, without Harry Kane, there's no one else in the team to do that. So it's a bit of a worry for them at the moment.
Yeah, it's big worries indeed, Bob. A bit of good news for Tottenham is that Harry Kane will be back in about 2 weeks, so the injury is not as serious as initially feared. And quick one on Gareth Bale. What do you make of his return so far to Tottenham? It looks like a shadow of himself. I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah. It's so disappointing because we've seen his best years at Tottenham. We've seen his best years at Real Madrid. But it just seems like he's come back to Tottenham because he wasn't happy in Spain. At this moment in time, is he worth even buying him at the end of the season? No. The loan money itself is a bit too much for what he is producing at the moment as well. And it's kind of a slap in the face when you see that he's so world-class. He's a world-class talent, but he cannot deliver in this league. And it's very disappointing because when he came back to Tottenham, I was one of the football fans that said, yes, this guy is going to deliver. He's going to deliver goals. He's going to deliver assists, creativity. We all remember his goals in Real Madrid. Absolutely amazing goals, amazing assists, amazing contributions. But here, it just seems like he's struggling, and he's even struggling to get in the starting 11. And him starting yesterday, then getting taken off, it's just... it's just a bit of an upset at the moment. I'm very disappointed in him right now, but hopefully his better years are still ahead of him. But if not, then it's time for him to go back to Spain at the end of the season because he's not contributing anything meaningful at the moment, in my opinion.
At the moment, indeed. There's still a lot of games to still play. Though. Who knows? It might come good.
We'll see. A blunt assessment.
We'll see.
All right. So I want to leave Tottenham and go to Chelsea and talk about Thomas Tuchel. And what do you think? Just 2 matches, and I don't know if we could say we're beginning to see what direction Thomas Tuchel wants to go with Chelsea. But I just want to hear your thoughts on a lot of mixed reactions about what people feel he could bring to Chelsea. But I want to get your thoughts. You've seen two matches already.
So with this Thomas Tuchel situation, we've seen Frank Lampard and we've seen the type of play Frank Lampard likes to play. Frank Lampard likes to take the ball to the side, do excessive crossing, etc. But at the moment, what we're seeing from Thomas Tuchel is a change in tactics. So we're seeing a lot of tactical play, a lot of tactical substitutions, and it's a breath of fresh air because we kind of see the players enjoying their football a lot more. So I'm seeing Callum Hudson-Odoi playing so much more under Thomas Tuchel. He's playing full 90 minutes. He's starting back-to-back matches, and he's playing in a completely different role. He's playing right wing back. For a manager to come in and make these kind of changes is absolutely phenomenal. You'd think he's out of his mind. You'd think he's gone absolutely crazy. And when I saw the first lineup against Burnley yesterday, I said, this man has gone crazy, because he started Marcus Alonso, and a lot of Chelsea fans, they disagree of starting Marcus Alonso because we've got Ben Chilwell on the bench, and it just didn't really make sense. But at the end of it, we saw that there was always a bigger picture, and at the end of it, Chelsea won. Against Wolverhampton, we went 3 at the back as well, and it was just a little bit confusing for a lot of Chelsea fans, because we're so used to seeing 4-3-3 passing to the side, and we're seeing Jorginho and we're seeing Kovacic carrying the ball forward. We haven't seen that all season, so it's refreshing. And I'm not trying to say that Chelsea could get top 4 off the back of getting Tuchel in, but there's a better chance at the moment. So I'm looking forward to Thomas Tuchel and his reign. Hopefully they can get top 4, but if not, I think Thomas Tuchel, he's bringing in patterns of play that Chelsea fans will appreciate a lot more than they did when it was Frank Lampard.
Interesting. Is it safe to say, Anita, that you've got a soft spot for Chelsea?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit
sure? Of a soft spot. Just a little. If you see my wall here, Stamford Bridge over there. I really love Chelsea. It's my first team, and it's just nice to see that they're playing good football now.
Again, I know I can relate. I understand the excitement. Indeed, another change quickly before we leave Chelsea. We've seen Anthony Rudiger come into the starting lineup as well, in place of Kurt Zouma.
Yeah. Oh, God. It was a hard one to take because Kurt Zouma, he's been very solid at the back this entire season. But when we look at the brighter perspective, like I always like to say the bigger picture, because when he started Rudiger ahead of Zouma, again, Chelsea fans were just like, oh, why? Like, what's going on here? Why would you start Rudiger over Kurt Zouma when Zuma's been doing really well? But in a back 3, especially, maybe Tuchel has seen that Rudiger plays a lot better in a back 3 than Kurt Zouma does. And maybe that's exactly what happened, and I've seen that happen, to be fair, because the things that Rudiger was doing yesterday, like carrying the ball forward, tracking back in a 3, I'm not sure if Kurt Zouma can handle that just as yet. Same way, I don't think Ben Chilwell can be a left wing back just yet. So let's see, bigger picture, let's see.
All right, then. The good thing is competition is definitely very, very good. Healthy competition, that is good for any great side out there. Let's talk about the star match of the weekend. The big match was between Arsenal and Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. Ended goalless for Arsenal. You'd say the good recent run of form continues. They haven't lost in 6 games now against United. For the Red Devils, though, another not the best result after losing against Sheffield United, surprisingly. And after the game, Mikel Arteta insisted that they're going in the right direction.
I think they're definitely going in the right direction. I genuinely think if Bukayo Saka and Kieran Tierney was starting in that match on the weekend, Arsenal would have definitely won. I don't think United came and they dominated at all, which was a bit weird because we've seen them dominate other matches. Of course, they came back from Sheffield United, and you'd expect Man United to bulk up, and you'd expect them to come into the Arsenal game wanting to win. But we just didn't see that end product from Manchester United. And the same thing from Arsenal. Arsenal have been on a great run. They come into this game as the underdogs. So for them to even manage to get a draw with their key players out, so no Aubameyang, no Saka, no Tierney, it's something for Arsenal to look forward to, because without their key players and they're holding big teams like Manchester United to a draw, it's something to really look forward to, and they can really press for a top 4 or top 6 finish. So yeah, Arteta is extremely right to think that he's going in the right direction, especially because of the start that they've had this season. So fingers crossed that Arsenal do make it there in the end, but hopefully Chelsea make it there ahead of them. But let's see.
All right, so we've been having an interesting discussion even before we came on into the studio.
Yeah.
Want to let you in on it, and we've run out of adjectives to describe the amazing, wonderful Lionel Messi, and of course another record for him yesterday, just increasing his tally with Barcelona. 650 goals is scored now. I don't know what to say. I'm out of breath sometimes when I talk about Lionel Messi. I don't know if you share my sentiments about this wonderful, amazing football talent.
I'm with you. There's not many ways to describe Lionel Messi. I always say he's what I call an alien. 650 career goals is something that not many people will reach in their lifetime. I think he's probably the first person to do it as well, and it's just phenomenal to see that this kind of talent is once in a lifetime. So I'm not too sure when we'll see another talent like this, in my opinion. I'm not too sure. His goal as well, a perfect free kick. How can you mark your 650th goal with that kind of free kick? It's honestly so amazing to have even grown up watching him.
You can say that again, Anita. I mean, is a genius. There's not two ways to describe Lionel Messi, generational talent indeed. And just before that game, interestingly, the big league came out that Lionel Messi stands to earn over 500 million euros based on the last contract he signed. I mean, there's been a lot of, reaction towards that. They've threatened to actually sue the publication that came up with it, and any other person involved in it. Haven't considered and looked at Messi's career. Everything is won, 650 goals, and every other thing is helped Barcelona achieve. What do you make of that kind of contract? I mean, which is arguably the biggest in the world of sports.
I mean, if someone was giving me 550 million, I would take it. It is a crazy contract.
Wow.
I think it kind of defies the whole thing of financial fair play as well. But when it comes to a player like Messi, and he's delivering so many things for a team such as Barcelona, he is the icon of Barcelona. It's something that's expected. Of course, I didn't expect €500 million euros in wages, but you know, what he's delivering, it is matching. But hopefully he can deliver a Champions League at the end of the season, because Barcelona's really been lacking in that. So let's see if the money can pay for that one.
Now, that would be a perfect farewell as well for Lionel Messi, of course. He's already, decided that he wants to leave the new camp this year. Anita, we want to thank you for your time. We're so grateful for you joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Yeah, cheers. You can be a part of the show. Just before we go, channels_sports, that's where you can send your tweets, and we'll take it before it's all over. Let's go to Akure now. The return of track and field happened over the weekend, and it's been a long time coming. These guys have been inactive for obvious reasons, COVID and all of that, but it was good to see them return to action on Saturday. We're seeing the 100 meters final. Women was won by Joy Udo Gabriel. No surprises at all. She's the best when it comes to the short sprints in Nigeria. Of course, the men's final as well too went down. We saw Enoch Adegoke running a world-leading time in that particular race, and it's good to see these guys racing so well.
Get something, just
after
get action.
being inactive for such a long time, and for Enoch to return this kind of time in one of the few races he's had.
So it means he probably had been training in isolation. I mean,
exactly.
That's what it means.
I mean, there you go, 10.16. That's very impressive.
It is.
That's very impressive indeed.
And for me, look, it looks like we're going to have Tokyo Olympics. Let's not fool ourselves. It looks like we're going to have it. So you're not going to have the excuse of, I wasn't allowed to train. So I'm very happy that the AFN and all the sponsors, collaborators, were able to get something together for these guys.
Yeah, very important. We just saw the 200 meters race there. Emmanuel Ojeli winning that particular. That's another athlete to watch out for. Of course, 7 Nigerians have already qualified for the track and field events of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, of course, led by Blessing Okagbare. There's also Issa Brume, was qualified. Chukwuebuka Enekwechi is qualified as well too. Divine is qualified. Ishirishe Shikiri, they've all qualified. Raymond Akevo.
Let's just hope there are some medals in them.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. You know what I mean?
But it's good. It's good that a lot of these guys are flying Nigeria's flag. And hopefully we get some more to do that for us.
Yeah, exactly. Still some time to make the Olympic standard. Indeed. Yemi, do you want to look at the papers before, or we just...
Let's just take a look at the papers while you try to sort out the
tweets.
Let's start with Complete Sports. Let's see what's happening in Complete Sports. We'll do that, and we'll read a couple of tweets before we wrap it up on the show. All right, let's start with Complete Sports this morning. And, of course, Igalo set for Saudi Arabia move. His adventure in England has come to an end. And so... a lot of people are pointing in the direction of Saudi Arabia. Nothing is
Yeah, he looks on his way. Yeah, he looks like he's on his way to Saudi Arabia.
We'll see. We'll see with that when it's confirmed. We'll let you know. That's on the front page of Complete Sports, their lead story. Rogers admits we're missing Vardy and Ndidi. That's the quote from Brendan Rodgers, and those two guys very important to how Leicester City play. Other interesting stories. We've talked about the Messi situation, and I'm just hoping that the leak didn't come from the Catalan giants themselves, because they've denied it.
Yeah,
they've denied it. But I'm just hoping. You know what's funny to me is that they say we're going to press charges. I'm like, what are you going to press charges? I hope it's. You know what? It's interesting. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. Arsenal switch targets to Van Aanholt. We'll see what happens in that one. A whole lot of other interesting stuff. Luis Suarez. Let's not forget the player. Barcelona was so eager to throw out, doing big things with Atletico.
Incredible. Well, what a renaissance for Luis Suarez. As it is right now, it looks like Atletico Madrid will go on to win the Spanish La Liga title. They've got a game in hand. They've got double-digit leads as well, too, over Barcelona
and Real Madrid.
Let's go to Sporting Life now. That's the next paper for review. Tottenham chief wants £100 million for Harry Kane. Revealed the full details of Messi's £492 million contract. Our story is going to rumble on for a bit. This very worrying one for me. Napoli 2-0 over Parma. Osimhen not 100% fit. Of course, he was benched in that game. He's had a very checkered start to his Napoli career. The shoulder injury, then the COVID situation as well too.
And that was why I had some fears when rumors started flying around that his coach might lose his job. You know, if a coach wants you and brings you into a team, if another man comes, it becomes a different scenario. So I'm happy the man is still in charge. I hope the results continue, because he has a lot of trust in Osimhen. That's obvious.
All right, then still in Sporting Life, Ramos ready to leave Real Madrid this summer. Interesting. Saudi club agreed to sign Odion Igalo. Still in Spain this time around, Sadiq Umar scores again. Also grabbed an assist. Of course, let's not forget the Super Falcon, Asisat Ushuala, who scored the brace for Barcelona in the Spanish Women's League. The last paper is Sporting Sun. And of course, the story about Igalo is still there as well, too, going to Saudi Arabia to secure another hefty bag. Onuachu fires blank in Belgium. This is a very, very strange one, because this guy scores goals week in, week out.
That's why it is news when he doesn't score. It's actually news when he doesn't score, because he scores a lot of the time. So that's why it's news.
That's interesting. Mayweather offered Pacquiao rematch. No, we're not trying to see that fight again. Khedira joins Hertha Berlin. That's Sami Khedira. Used to play for Real Madrid and Juventus. All right. I think that's about it. Aguero tests negative for COVID-19. Good news for the Manchester City striker. All right, then.
Let's spend the last 2 minutes to
let's take a look at the tweets before we go. Starting with Noble Flyer Man. Arsenal played better than we did. So that means you're a Manchester United fan. However, we had 2 clear-cut chances, and we should have perhaps gone on to win that game. Those 2 chances are falling to Edison Cavani, right? I mean, you'd have thought Cavani was going to bury those chances, but it wasn't meant to be on the night. But for Arsenal, they had the chances as well too.
They did.
Lacazette hit the post. Smith Rowe forced the head.
I think the scoreline was a fair result, a good reflection of the game. Yeah.
All right, then let's go to Moses now. Leicester City falling to Leeds United at home is unbelievable, and Tottenham losing to Brighton is heartbreaking. Well, this is the EPL for you, of course, the most competitive league in the world. Dr. Kenneth, we've got your message as well. Messi's salary looks way too staggering. It's outrageous. And if you look at it from the angle, but everything pales in comparison, considering what he has achieved for the club. Michael, we've got your message as well. And okay, you want to see more highlights of the Nigerian Professional Football League. Of course, you know you can watch these games on NPFL TV. Just download the app and you can see a lot of these games every week. And I think that's about it.
All right.
Yemi, we got to go.
That's a good place to leave it on the show. It's a wrap on Sports This Morning today. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. We're back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
I am Tayo Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.